And here we go. Welcome back, Bay family. It's your girl, Richele, Madam Big Age Energy. And this is podcast number 2. Podcast number 2. Okay, and I'm only going to do this one more time. On podcast number 3, I'm going to say it's podcast number 3, and then that's it. After that, I'm not going to keep numbering because, after that, like, I'm an expert, right? But it's exciting for me. So, this is podcast number 2. If you didn't check out podcast number 1, go ahead and look at that. You can finish this one and then go back to that one, because what I'm going to do in this particular episode is kind of a continuation of episode number 1. We'll call it a 2-part series about trying new things. And so that's what I'm going to talk about. Like, I got to stay on that thing because, I explained in the first video this whole big age energy, movement that I'm on right now. And it is a movement because, we're coming into years where there's going to be more people over 65, more vibrant, lively, wonderful people over 65 than under 21. So, the silver tsunami is here, and we got to be intentional about living our best life. And that's my word. That is my word for this chapter in my life. Intentional. To be intentional, to be very conscious of not only the energy that I receive, but the energy that I put out. The fact that I feel good, I look good, what I say to people, how I come across, everything is having that big age energy. Take into heart the fact that I have been on this earth for 50 years, so I've seen enough. I don't know everything. No one knows everything. But daggone it, I know a lot. And I deserve respect. I'm going to give respect. And I deserve to have a wonderful second half of my life. Because as I always say, it gets greater later. And it do though, right? It do. And so I want to continue to talk about that do the new. So in the first part, we'll call it the first episode, we talked about 3 things when it comes to doing new things. I even titled that particular episode, What Turns You On? So this is What Turns You On part 2, okay? Chapter 2. And, it's not about sex, although at 50, honey, it's not nothing wrong with wanting and desiring wonderful, earth-shattering sex. But what I'm talking about is the passion of starting something and, involving yourself in something that you've never done before. So, I also would love to invite you. Please I am falling so much in like with you. I'm already in like. I'm hoping that you'll go ahead and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll know. And also take a journey over to my Instagram, my TikTok. All of it's Richele Wilkins. And because I'm on a journey to do 30 days of something brand new. Every single day, I'm doing something brand new. And so it, even started with, I went to Bike Week. You want to know about that story? Episode number 1. That's right. Go back there and check that thing out, right? And so honestly, in episode 1, we talked about 3 things, right? 3 nuggets. If you don't know, 3 is my favorite number. And so that may be my thing. I may do 3 nuggets in most of my videos. Usually when I do my speaking engagements, I'm going to give you 3 nuggets, right? And so in episode number 1, my 3 nuggets were, just first of all, to break out of routine and to have a mindset to do something new. Like you literally, again, here's that word, intentional, to have the mindset to say, you know what? I don't care if my knees hurt. I don't care if young people are doing it. If I have a desire to try to do something, my mindset is I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it, right? So change your mindset. Number 2 was do the new. go ahead and step out there and do that thing, right? I talked about my bike week experience. Do the new. And then the last thing, while you're doing your new, know who you are. You think about all the experiences that you've had. you know Make sure you see to your safety. You do things on your own terms. Make sure you do it just like your authentic self would do it, right? So those were the three nuggets from that one. So let's take this thing a little bit farther. Let's take it another, let's level up, because I think about one of my favorite memories. I love to tell stories. I hope that's okay. Can I tell you a story? Can I tell you a story? So, one of my favorite memories is when I was young, going to the beach. First of all, I love the beach. If you say beach, you have me at beach. Like, I don't care what we're doing after that. If we're going to the beach, I'm good. And so, even as a little girl, I love going to the beach. And so, one of my favorite beaches when I was young with my family, we were from up north more so, was Ocean City, Maryland. Okay. Shout out those that know anything about some Ocean City, the French fries, the boardwalk, what? And so as a little girl in Ocean City, my cousins and my aunt, my mom, we would go into the little shops that they would have. And one of my favorite things would be to get a hermit crab. And so, you would see all the cages with all the hermit crabs in it. And, all of them looked the same, but they all had little different shells or whatever that were different. But here's the kicker when we talk about a shell. So when you get a hermit crab, you get to get your hermit crab that's in its current shell, but you're supposed to also pick another shell that you put inside the container that's bigger than the shell that the hermit crab is already in. The reason why is because over time, that hermit crab is going to grow. It's going to grow so much that it's going to outgrow its current shell. It's going to get so cramped, it's going to get so tight that if that hermit crab were to stay in his crab shell, he would die. He would perish from being smothered and choked out in his own shell. So at some point, that hermit knows that it has to break free from that old shell and go in search of a new shell, a bigger shell, a more exciting shell. The adventure of getting to the shell is even something. And so I always think of myself as that hermit crab, especially right now. You know, I truly have to be intentional about this because I know I'm coming out of a chapter just behind me where I was a full-time single mom, the only financial breadwinner in my home. I was and still am the owner of a large home care agency, a company that relied on me for everything. Shout out to Caring Hands, my team at Caring Hands, Cheryl, Latoya, Jasmine, Brandon, all of you guys, everybody, Step, you know who you are. I couldn't do what I'm doing now and breaking off to go do speaking engagements and all these other wonderful new adventures that I'm trying to get into, traveling abroad, without them. So thank you guys. Thank you. But, 5 years ago, I didn't have the team I have now. It was all on me. I couldn't see the forest for the trees. I couldn't, enjoy life to the fullest at, other than the wonderful little things that life brought. Those big, wonderful new adventures, they were just not existent. They were absolutely non-existent. So I am ecstatic right now. I am ecstatic to be able to, do a podcast. This is new. This right here is me doing the new. As we speak, I'm doing the new, right? And so I want to talk about 3 more nuggets. Okay. Here you go. Okay. 3 more nuggets. So when we're talking about trying new things, getting out of that old shell and taking a new adventure into a new, bigger shell, right? The first thing I want you to do is start small. Number one is start small. It doesn't need to be anything overt or crazy or thrill seeking that's way outside of your comfort zone. It may just be trying new food. It may be, going somewhere that you've never gone to before, or putting on something different that is not typically your style or even typically your color. Okay, and start small. Start small. Um, Small, frequent new experiences, I believe, still will raise that dopamine that we talked about in episode number 1. It will still give you that youthfulness that we talked about, you know? I believe time will slow down and all the wonderful things that come with trying new things and doing the new. So, number 1, start small. Number 2, we've got to talk about fear. Fear, y'all, fear ain't nothing but false evidence appearing real. You heard the first word, false. So it ain't even true, right? It's not true. It's false evidence that appears like it's real. And it can scare the hell out of you, but it's not real. And so I want to dispel any fear that you will have about trying something new. If you're watching this, I don't care what age you are, you got good sense. Use that good sense that your mama gave you. Don't do anything where you're not going to be safe, or where you that type of thing. But just having the fear of, oh, what are they going to say about me, or how am I going to look, or that type of thing, that we kicking that to the curb. Okay, so again, no fear, false evidence appearing real, right? And then the third thing, so again, we're going to take it slow, little short, new things. No fear. Okay, we're fearless. And then number 3 is, if you don't like it, it's okay. You tried it, right? You tried it. Don't be afraid of failure when you're doing the new. Okay? Don't be afraid to say, you know what? I didn't like that. That wasn't for me. Okay? It doesn't have to become a passion of yours, right? I enjoy this so far. And I'm here to tell you, I'm not trying to go viral. If I help one person, if I look back on this in a couple of months and I help myself, it has done some good. If my grandkids have this video to look back on and say, wow, look at, that's my great grandmama right there. And this is what she was talking about back then when she was 50 years old. That means a lot to me. So I am doing the new. I am doing this thing. I hope that it is helpful to you and for you. Again, I want you to get out your shell. Get out your shell so you're not suffocated in that old mindset and that old stuck in the mud rut. Okay. A lot of you, your kids are going off to college now. You're more stable than you ever were any time in your life. It is time for you. Not only is it time for you, baby, but it is time for you to do the new. So please like, subscribe, get notified. This is it for this. All right. I done said it enough. Do the new. Okay. Shout out to my lady that I seen this on. It's a TED Talk. So I'm gonna put that link down in the description because I want to give credit where credit is due. I didn't come up with do the new. I seen it on the TED Talk, but girl, you did do the new for 365 days. I'm gonna do a new thing for 30 days and see how it goes. But again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.